Recrystallization of Benzhydrol. Attention! Petroleum ether can cause death if swallowed, cause damage of the organs, and impair fertility. It may cause long-term adverse effects in the aquatic environment. Benzhydrol can cause irritation of the skin and eyes. I don't take any responsibility for damage done to persons or property caused by the recreation of this experiment. When benzhydrol is prepared via a Grignard reaction, it is mainly contaminated with biphenyl and an oily substance. That's why it has to be recrystallized. The setup is a hot plate with a water bath and a stirring bar. On top of the round bottom flask, a reflux condenser is added. Petroleum ether is used as the solvent, which is a mixture of different hydrocarbons. It doesn't have an exact boiling point, but it boils between 40 and 60 degrees C. Through the condenser, a few milliliters of solvent are added at the beginning. The water bath is heated until the solvent begins to boil. Then more solvent is added in small portions until the benzhydrol has dissolved. After cooling down, the crystals still had a strong yellowish color and were square-like, so it was recrystallized again. The excess solvent was removed and the wet substance was heated again. Then it dissolved completely. Benzhydrol has a quite low solubility in cold petroleum ether, so the amount of solvent can be increased without any problem. This leads to a cleaner product with a slightly higher loss. The different densities cause two layers to form, which mix slowly after a while. While cooling down, little droplets formed and collected at the bottom. When the spatula was held into the solution, it turned cloudy, but no crystallization took place, which was quite interesting. Only strong scratching on the walls of the flask caused the crystallization to take place. Needle-shaped crystals began to form, which is also the crystal structure of benzhydrol. The slight yellow color indicates that the benzhydrol still contains impurities, but these are low enough for my purposes. Of course, more recrystallizations would lead to a way higher purity. After breaking up the mass, it becomes visible that the solvent contains most of the impurities. The benzhydrol can be filtered off and the residues in the flask can be washed out with some petroleum ether. This also washes out the solvent containing the impurities. At the end, the filter is spread out and the solvent is allowed to evaporate. After the drying, yellowish needle-shaped crystals that stick together were obtained. There is no specific test for benzhydrol, that's why the next synthesis will serve as proof. I obtained 7 grams of benzhydrol, which is a yield of 53%. This was the recrystallization of benzhydrol. I hope you enjoyed. Please rate and comment.